Hi, I'm Allison Moore with the New Boco's education team. Thanks for joining us today for another tutorial on using Scratch. Today we're going to start by looking at how you can use Scratch in order to tell a story. To get started, we're going to go to scratch.mit.edu. If you've used Scratch before, you will be able to log into your account. Or if you're new to Scratch, you can create a new account by saying Join Scratch. If this is your first time, I'd encourage you to go and check out some of our other tutorials about some of the basic features and things that you can do while you're in here. Today we're going to create a new project to be able to tell a story. In your toolbar across the top, go ahead and select the blue Create button. This will open up a new project for you to begin. So Scratch can be used to tell a story. Within a story, you'll always have your setting, so where the story is taking place, as well as the characters that you want to go with it. We're going to get started by selecting those things. So the first thing that we'll do is to change our backdrop. The backdrop can be found in the bottom right corner where it says Choose a Backdrop. I think for my story today, I want it to take place underwater. The next thing that you can do is to be able to change your characters or your sprites. It gives us a Scratch cat, but he doesn't really make sense to be underwater, so let's find something that would work better. Across the top, you have different options for you to be able to select or filter your choices. Oh, and here's a crab, so let's start with the crab to be able to have him be underwater. All right, within my story, I want my crab to be able to begin by talking, to be able to tell the story. So I have my crab selected. Over on the left is all of the codes that I can use in order to run my program or have my crab do something. The middle, remember, is our workspace, and that's where I'll drag the codes, and then the right is the preview area for us to watch to see if our code is working. So for my crab, I want him to begin by talking. So I'm selecting the looks, so I can have him be able to select or say something. Let's have my crab start by saying, hello, welcome to my home. Let's go ahead and give that a shot. You can run your code by clicking the green flag. Nothing happened. Oh, I know. I think it's because I never told my computer when I wanted my crab to say that. For that, you have to choose an event. Within the events, you have different options. You could have your crab begin by pressing the green flag, which is what we were expecting, or you could try to use a space or a key in order to be able to begin. Now let's try. Perfect. So when I clicked the green flag, my crab was able to talk. Now usually in stories we have more than one character, so you can add another character by going down to the bottom right and choosing a sprite. Let's go back and find another animal that would work underwater. Oh, I like this jellyfish. All right, so now my jellyfish is here, and I want the two to be able to talk to each other. In order for this to happen, I need to be able to have my jellyfish know when it could begin. There's a great block for this, or a great code that can help you be able to control the sequence or the order of your program. This block is within the events, and it's called the broadcast message. The broadcast message is something that we don't really get to see, it just happens within our program in order to help the computer know the order of your code. So I'm going to say this broadcast message, that's my hello message. The crab is saying hello. Then I can go over to my jellyfish because I want my jellyfish to be able to respond. So the jellyfish can respond once it receives the hello message. So again, I'm in events, and then there's this code that says when I receive hello. Then I want the jellyfish to talk back. So let's have our jellyfish say a couple of things like, thanks for having me come over. And maybe then we should begin having them do something. So like, can You help me find let's try find an underwater mountain. So now they can begin this process. Let's try it out. Let's go back to the beginning and say green flag. And then you can see that his speech changed for can you help me find an underwater mountain. I thought that was a little quick to be able to read it, so I'm going to change the length of time for my seconds to maybe 3 seconds and 4 seconds to give my user a chance to really be able to read what my story is saying. All right, so now my characters are ready to go on their exploration, and I'd like them to be able to change their background to be able to go and look. For that, you can go back to your stage area and you can choose a new backdrop. You're going to go back to the underwater ones and select this backdrop that has a mountain in the background. At this point, I think it would be good for my crab to be able to respond to my jellyfish and be able to give directions for how to get to the mountain. So to change the sequence or to change my order, I'm going to broadcast another message in order to tell my computer to go back to the crab. So for this one, we'll call this message mountain. And then we go back to our crab, and we're going to start a new set of code that just shows that a new event is occurring. So here we're saying when I receive mountain, we want the crab to be able to give more directions. Let's have the crab say, mountain is over there, good luck exploring. And then I think I want him to disappear because he's going to give the directions and then go away. So if I don't want him to show up on my story anymore, I can use the looks and go to hide. At that point, he would disappear until I would use the show to have him come back. All right, let's go back through and check everything. It looks to me like all of my speech bubbles are working, and my crab did disappear at the end. However, I noticed that my background never switched. It always stayed on the second background. This can be fixed by going over to your stage. And when you select the stage, your tabs over here in the code area change. So you'll notice that now you have code, then it lets you go to backdrops. So we're going to start here on background 1. If I go over to my crab, because that's where it begins, we want this green flag when we begin our code to always start on background 1. So for our looks, we want the backdrop. I'm going to have that be my very first thing and put that in there to be underwater 1. Now when I push the green flag, it'll always take me back. But I also notice that my crab's not there anymore. Probably need him. So I'm going to have my crab be visible, and I'll use show for that. Now let's give it a shot. Speech is still working, but my background didn't change. Any guesses why? Let's go look at my jellyfish. That's when he asks the question, and it says broadcast mountain. Maybe it has something to do with that mountain event. So what if we look at the mountain event and we switch our backdrop there too? So we'll have that one be underwater too. Now let's give it a shot. There we go, they switched backgrounds, and then my crab disappeared. I think everything is good to this point. My next point in my story is I would probably have my jellyfish go off and explore and maybe meet some new characters. Other things that you can do is you can add sound, or you could even add recordings so that you could make it seem like your characters are talking to each other. To learn how to do that, go ahead and check out the tutorials about being able to add sounds or recordings to your story. Good luck. I hope you have fun creating a story. See you later. Bye.